KandiBurruss's daughter, Riley Burruss, following in her mother's reality TV footsteps, is making waves on Bravo's fresh series Next Gen NYC. The show, which premiered June 3rd and is still airing, broadly spotlights second-generation Bravo celebrities, kids of Real Housewives stars, navigating adulthood, careers, relationships, and finances in New York City. In the most recent episode, airing July 1st, one scene stood out for its financial shock factor: a lavish night out at a high-end club where Riley and her friends racked up a staggering $14,000 bill. But the real moment came when Riley admits to her mother, Kandi, that she used part of her credit card coverage to pay for bottle service, in particular a Don Julio 1942 tequila bottle, with Riley stating her share was roughly $7,000 and another castmate, Amira, pitching in for half of the remainder. That confession set off a fiery parental intervention. Kandi burst out, incredulous. "I'm paying for 1942 bottles? And $14,000? Girl?" She then scolds her daughter. "You got too much money to burn. You're really gonna have to figure out your finances, honey."
He's mad at me because I ended up kicking him out of the table.
So how much was it?
Wait, can I get away from her first? Total, it was 14 something.
14,000?
Correct. So my, girl! So my part
I also agree.
was 7 something.
Are you kidding me?
The exchange crystallized years of maternal expectations coming into direct collision with Riley's newfound New York lifestyle. This wasn't the first time Kandi has highlighted the show's financial toll. In an earlier episode during a visit to Brooklyn, Kandi emphasized a plan. Riley would have 6 months to land a job or head to law school after her NYU music business degree, and a year before financial support would be cut. Riley explained she's exploring options, maybe DJing, maybe dual law business school at Columbia, but Kandi's message was firm: figure out your finances. Contextually, Riley has accumulated early brand deals, Dark and Lovely, Makeup Forever, and Viva Naturals among them, and earns as a digital creator. But the $14,000 bottle service overheated even that realm of privilege and early fame. In the preview clip, Kandi even swats Riley with a napkin mid-conversation, part frustration, part tough love, saying, "It better not be on the card I pay for." Riley tries to explain that she paid her half, but Kandi's main thrust is about accountability. She's reminding Riley that a daughter of Bravo Britties can't just burn through money without consequences. This isn't just a money moment, it's a generational reality check. Riley, 22, living in the fast pace of New York City, surrounded by social influence and nightlife, is forging her independence. Kandi, 49, Grammy winner and seasoned reality alum, sees a year-long runway of support and wants to ensure her daughter becomes financially self-reliant. The $14,000 night is the dramatic spark, but it represents something deeper: how celebrity children balance parental expectations, public scrutiny, and the realities of adulthood. Critics have reacted sharply. Keeping it real, critics at entertainment outlets labeled it chaos, cocktails, and a 5-figure bill. Another outlet underscores the comedic and dramatic irony. Ariana Bierman, Kim Zolciak's daughter, praises Riley as her best friend in NYC, only to have the drama turn when Riley discloses she paid $7,000 for half the bill. Amid that rise and fall moment between friendship and financial reckoning, Kandi's visit serves as a counterbalance, mom grounding daughter after a glamorous peak of spending. Beyond the expense fiasco, Next Gen NYC has also showcased Riley asserting herself in other moments. In episode 3, aired mid-June, Riley found herself being labeled scary by castmate Charlie Zakour. She responded with poise and self-respect, calling it out as microaggression and refusing to let that narrative ride. Kandi backed her via phone, reminding Riley that as a Black woman, she's already under scrutiny and should not apologize for speaking up. Riley has also discussed her emotional life, reconciling with her bio father, making difficult decisions on screen. moments that Reddit commenters have described as cringe and hard to watch, noting Kandi's use of family stories for TV narratives. Still, Riley is more than just drama. She's evolving. She moved from Manhattan to Brooklyn for a calmer environment and better community, pointing out how NYC feels transactional compared to Atlanta's communal culture. She's recognized the pressure of inheriting a famous mom and is stepping up, studying for LSATs, entertaining music industry paths, while mindful of her looming self-sufficiency deadline. Moments like the $14,000 bill have created iconic Bravo TV spoofs and clips online. Among those are Ariana discussing Riley's friendship and shopping sprees, and Kim Zolciak even saying she'll call Kandi after hearing about it. It will be fascinating to see how Riley responds in upcoming episodes. Will Kandi's intervention shift her approach? Will Riley find stable income, perhaps DJ gigs, or brand partnerships to offset nightlife costs? Could she pivot back to law school or find her niche in music? And for Bravo fans, how will the interpersonal drama, Charlie's awkward moment, Ariana and Riley's bond, future friction, play into Riley's journey? Ultimately, the $14,000 club bill isn't just another club scene. It's a fulcrum, her moment in the spotlight that tests her boundaries, her financial maturity, and her relationship with her mother. It makes for compelling TV, social media buzz, and a teachable moment wrapped in VIP tables and tequila bottles. With the season still rolling, this episode may well mark a turning point for Riley. Will she scale back on the extravagant nights and rein in her expenses? Will Kandi's presence signal a season of tough love and accountability? Either way, the mother-daughter dynamic in this moment does more than entertain. It spotlights real-life lessons being played out on a reality stage. And Bravo viewers will be watching every step as Riley learns to balance ambition, freedom, and financial responsibility, all under the Big Apple's unrelenting glare. If you'd like further breakdowns of specific scenes or want to dive deeper into Bravo fan reactions, behind-the-scenes anecdotes, or prediction debates, just say the word. KandiBurruss and her daughter Riley Burruss share a bond that is as deep and enduring as it is occasionally tested by the challenges of adolescence, fame, and shifting family dynamics. Over the years, their relationship has weathered everything from teenage rebellion to public scrutiny, but at its core remains a constant undercurrent of unwavering love and mutual respect. Below is a comprehensive narrative of their ups and downs, capturing the emotional nuances, the milestones, the struggles, and the triumphs that define their mother-daughter connection. From the very beginning, Riley was the apple of Kandi's eye. Born in 2001, Riley entered a life that would inevitably come with media attention. Kandi, already a renowned singer-songwriter and reality TV personality, made it her priority to provide Riley with a childhood rooted in normalcy. Family vacations, regular school routines, dance recitals, and Sunday dinners with loved ones were all part of the Burruss family fabric. Riley's upbringing was characterized by warmth, comfort, and stability, an intentional buffer against the glare of fame. As Riley progressed into her preteen years, her mother's role evolved. Kandi became not only her parent, but her counselor, confidant, and occasional drill sergeant when it came to chores, school responsibilities, and personal accountability. It was during these years that Riley started forging her own identity. She expressed herself through fashion, music interests, and, eventually, her first forays into social media. The shift from childhood to adolescence brought its own clashes, as it does in many homes, when Riley's efforts to assert independence met with Kandi's protective instincts. There were moments of tension, curfew negotiations, disagreements over makeup or hairstyles, and the inevitable arguments that come when a teen seeks boundaries and autonomy. A significant stress point arrived when Riley entered high school. As her social world grew, so did her exposure to peer pressure and the scrutiny that accompanies being a teenager in the public eye, Riley began exploring nightlife, attending high school parties, and posting on social media. While most teens enjoy this rite of passage, Riley's access to cameras and tabloids meant that missteps could attract headlines. Kandi, protective and anxious, found herself torn, on one hand wanting to shield her daughter, on the other respecting Riley's need to grow and experience things for herself. One public flashpoint came when Riley posted about skipping school or attending a party with minimal adult supervision. Concerned fans and the media speculated about troubled behavior. Kandi responded by emphasizing Riley's privacy, trying to quell the speculation, but also stepping in privately to guide her through the situation. Riley later reflected that she felt judged, given no room to make mistakes and learn from them. Kandi realized the importance of balancing discipline with empathy and discretion, especially when dealing with a teenager under a societal microscope. That period marked a turning point. Kandi committed to being more transparent with Riley, sat down to openly talk about expectations, personal responsibility, and the unique challenges of their lifestyle. In interviews, she spoke about how Riley's first cell phone came with rules: no posts after midnight, no revealing photos, and mutual access to her social media. Riley, for her part, admitted that while she sometimes chafed at the restrictions, she understood their purpose. What followed was a collective learning process. Riley grew more mindful of her digital footprint and knew her mother was always there to guide her, not just reprimand her. They also leaned on one another creatively. Kandi's music career provided a medium through which Riley could express herself. She'd sometimes join her mother in the studio, offering ideas on melodies or lyrics. Their joint projects, ranging from Instagram reels to candid podcast appearances, served as a creative bonding ground. These shared ventures softened some of the tension and enabled Riley to see her mother as both authority figure and mentor in the arts. Another layer of complexity came when Kandi remarried in 2014 and had her son, Ace, in 2019. As the family composition shifted, Riley faced feelings common to firstborn children in blended families: jealousy, worry about being overshadowed, and wondering where she fit in. Kandi stayed alert to this dynamic, making deliberate efforts to set up solo mother-daughter time, movie nights, spa trips, weekend getaways. But Riley, busy with school and her own social life, didn't always join in, inadvertently feeding into that firstborn's insecurity. By the time Riley entered college, she graduated from Pace Academy in 2019 and later attended a university. The balance shifted again. Her newfound independence, living away from home part-time, meant fewer daily interactions and more opportunities to assert her own decision-making. Kandi relinquished some control, which was hard at first. She confessed in interviews she struggled with letting Riley make mistakes without stepping in, but recognized it as essential for her daughter's growth. Riley appreciated the trust, though they both acknowledged it came with hard conversations when disagreements turned sharp or when worries escalated over grades, money, or living situations. Riley's public presence continued to grow: fashion collaborations, influencer partnerships, and a visible social media footprint. With that exposure came new wrinkles in mother-daughter dynamics: who gets to manage visuals, which brands are acceptable, how much of their personal life gets shared. Riley wanted credit as her own person, not just Kandi's daughter. Kandi had wisdom about oversharing and the impact of social media stardom. Some clashes came when Riley posted something Kandi thought could damage a brand deal or her own reputation. Other times, Riley felt mom was overstepping. The negotiations were not always easy, but they brought them closer, each learning to value the other's perspective. Arguably, the most emotionally fraught moment came in 2020, during the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. With lockdowns in place, Riley moved back home. What was meant to be cozy fell into claustrophobic. Two former teenager and structure-loving parent confined under one roof. Small disagreements amplified, curfew complaints, chores blending into overlapping schedules, disagreements over each other's interactions with friends. Headlines touched on family under lockdown stress, but at home, things were raw and personal. Riley later described these months as an emotional pressure cooker, while Kandi admitted she walked a tightrope, wanting to enforce rules for health and order, yet recognizing outright rebellion could be counterproductive. After months of tension, a turning point came when they had their first real, unfiltered, heart-to-heart post-lockdown. They spoke about fears, miscommunication, how habits had shifted. Riley apologized for snappiness and for going out with friends during a dangerous time. Kandi confessed that she'd realized her parenting needed to adapt. The result was a renewal of understanding. New ground rules, yes, but with a layer of mutual respect and compassion. Slowly, the mood in the house shifted back toward empathy. Since then, their relationship has grown leaner and steadier. Riley, now in her early 20s, has started to find her own lane, balancing college or work, fashion collaborations, social advocacy, and her part in the Burruss family narrative. She's embraced philanthropy, supporting causes tied to mental health awareness, and has used her platform to amplify issues. Kandi beams with pride, but also knows it's not all smooth sailing. Private messages about body image, toxic friendships, and mental health challenges still come her way. Their ups and downs persist. They have not vanished, but their communication has improved. For instance, Riley recently had a disagreement over a brand deal involving revealing content. Kandi cautioned her about long-term image considerations. Riley responded by saying, "I'm the one wearing it," seeking creative agency. Rather than escalating into drama, it led to real dialogue. Kandi shared her life lessons. Riley expressed her vision. They came to a compromise. Clear terms, respectful back and forth, and a decision that honored both perspectives. A highlight was their joint appearance in Kandi's reality series, where they filmed a segment cooking family recipes for charity. Watching them laugh, tease, and tackle kitchen disasters made fans remark, "Melissa was right. These two are genuinely besties." It also reinforced what lies beneath the public ups and downs: mutual admiration, intergenerational trust, and the joy of shared laughter. That said, challenges remain. Financial management became a sensitive discussion last year when Riley wanted a significant investment in a fashion startup she was exploring. Kandi made her submit a detailed business plan, citing responsibility and long-term viability. Riley initially bristled, interpreting it as a lack of faith, but later admitted she appreciated learning real-world financial literacy. She eventually either secured outside investment or scaled back. The experience became both a practical lesson and another trust-building moment. Mental health is also front and center. Both women have been frank about counseling. Riley has seen a therapist for anxiety, with Kandi's encouragement. Kandi, having supported her own emotional wellness journey, encourages Riley to be open and proactive. Their mutual openness about therapy is not just self-serving, it's a model for viewers, especially African American mothers and daughters, normalizing mental health care across generations. While every generation gap relationship has rough patches, Kandi and Riley's story stands out because of the context, elevated visibility, the music and reality TV world, blended family complexity, public commentary, and the added factor of social media-fueled adolescent exploration. These layers intensify normal teen issues, and yet the love and resilience shine through. Where Riley steps away, mom leans in with intention. Where mom tightens the rules, daughter pushes respectfully, and conversations emerge. It's also important to acknowledge the influence of Kandi's support network, her husband, children, friends, sister, and even therapy. Like any dedicated parent of a strong-willed child, she sometimes leans on her husband, Todd, or sister, Tamika Scott, for advice about balancing discipline with letting go. These conversations sometimes filter into decisions about what's best in a given situation: curfew, dating, dress, confidentiality. Riley, aware of this, appreciates having multiple allies who root for her success, reducing the emotional tension on any single relationship. Banking on the future, they've co-created plans: a mother-daughter mentorship program, a potential collaborative YouTube series where they share personal stories, and, according to recent interviews, an intention to explore joint business ventures in fashion and mental wellness. Whether they follow through, the point is that the relationship has evolved from mother sets rules, daughter rebels, to two women navigating life together with love as their foundation. In reflection, their relationship journey, while not free of turmoil, is defined by elasticity, the capacity to stretch, to forgive, to reset. Their shared history of missteps, apologies, and reconciliations illustrates how they've turned conflict into connection. Kandi once commented that Riley is her greatest teacher. Riley has echoed that, saying motherhood has taught her empathy for parents she used to rebel against. Both recognize that this is ongoing work. There will be future disagreements as Riley's path continues to diverge and then sometimes converge with her mother's. Ultimately, their texture embodies many mother-daughter stories: laughter and tears, solidarity and friction, pride and exasperation. But theirs is also marked by nuance, public visibility, creative collaboration, real talk therapy, and faith-driven anchors. That extra visibility could have created an irreversible divide, but Kandi and Riley chose dialogue. For every headline, there are multiple private conversations. For every moment of teenage defiance, a deeper moment of understanding. If one overarching truth emerges from their story, it is this: the same love that fuels their unity allows their conflicts to unfold and resolve. Motherhood in the public eye hasn't protected them from growing pains, but it's perhaps made them more deliberate about how they handle them. Their dynamics, in all their messy, meaningful ups and downs, serve as a blueprint for families navigating modern adolescence. Push when necessary, listen always, and never lose sight of the love underneath.